Hey everybody, I'm super excited to get back to church. So excited, in fact, that I have invited a friend for Sunday.
Hey everybody!
And there he is. It's Sean. Hey Sean, how are you?
I'm doing swell. How are you doing, Aaron?
I'm good. I'm so excited that you have decided to come to church with me this morning, but I just want to let you know that it's going to look a little different than it normally would.
Oh, okay. What's it going to look like, Aaron?
Well, let's head over to the church and I'll actually show you before we get there on Sunday morning.
Sounds great!
All right. Come with us. So when you arrive at church, just make sure that you know that the main entrance is going to be the only one that's open. And the main entrance is the one that is closest to the worship center. If you're not feeling well on Sunday morning for whatever reason, please refrain from coming to the building and attend our online service because that will still be going on at 10 o'clock. As you come in, the doors will be open and Mary Ann will be at the welcome desk taking attendance so that if anything were to happen, if there were anybody that would have COVID-19, we would be able to know who to contact that was here. This part of the building is going to be the only part of the building that will be open. If we do get a whole lot of people on Sunday morning, we do have an overflow option that we will open up, but for the time being, this will be the only spot that will be open. I know some of you are itching to get back so that you can hug on people and handshake people and just love on them in that way. But we are asking you to refrain from physical contact with people this Sunday, just because we want to respect people's boundaries. So please, this Sunday, do what you can to use that self-control that you have and not handshake or hug anybody. Anything that we do on Sunday morning is to respect the most cautious of us. So what we're going to do is at the 9 o'clock service, we are saying that masks or face coverings are mandatory. That is something that we expect you to wear if you are here at 9 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we are still strongly recommending them. And if you have one, go ahead and bring it. If you do not have one, we will have some here that we can give to you. We hope you are washing your hands already. And before you come, you go ahead and wash your hands or sanitize them. But once you get here, we will have an abundance of hand sanitizer for you to use. When you come into the room, this is where things will look extremely different. You're actually going to be seated by an usher on Sunday. And there's a couple reasons why we're doing that. We know that there's this ability for us to linger and mingle and hang around people. And when we come into the room, we just want to make sure that you stay where you're seated at. And if you look around the room, if you look behind me, you'll notice there are different groupings of chairs to help maintain social distancing. And we just want to simplify the process as much as possible. So we don't want 2 people sitting in a group of 5 or whatever. So we just want to make sure that we are clear and that we are simplifying the process as much as we can. So we want you to know that the service that you're going to be getting at 9 o'clock and 11 will mirror the same service that is happening online. So it's basically like we have 3 services, one at 9, one at 10, and one at 11, and they're all the same. So choose wisely. One of the biggest differences that you will find in the services this Sunday is the music. The music, there's going to be less of it, and we're going to move it to the end. There's a couple of reasons we're doing that. We've found some examples that singing can actually increase the spread of the virus pretty quickly, so we want to refrain from that, but we still think it's very, very important to sing together. It's one of the things that I miss the most. But we also want to not sit in all that breath and all that air that we just expelled. And so by putting it at the end, we have a moment to just get out when dismissal happens. So that's kind of why music will look a little different this Sunday. For communion on Sunday, for those of us attending at the building, we will have pre-packaged communion that will be sitting on your seats. So we won't have to pass anything. You won't have to pick anything out of anything. It's just going to be sitting on your seats available to you. As far as offering is concerned, every single way that we have been doing it for the past few months is still available to you. But here at the building, we're actually going to put some boxes that you can drop your offering in on the way out the door. They'll be at the back of the worship center, and you can deposit them in when you get a chance as you leave. You may be wondering and asking yourself, well, if everything's the same as it is online, why don't I just stay home? And I want to encourage you not to think that way, because I do want to encourage you and I do want to reassure you that as we keep going, we're going to try to add more live elements, more and more. So that's one of the reasons that I want you to start thinking about coming even this Sunday. Another thing is, as people come, we are going to get a better understanding of how that this thing will operate. And so we want to make sure that we know how many people to expect. We really need the numbers of what to expect to see if our seating arrangement's going to work, to see if our overflow plan works. So if you are wanting to get back with people, that is a perfect reason for you to come this Sunday. Please do not let the idea that this is going to be the same thing that I'm going to be seeing online. Please don't let that idea be the thing to stop you from coming to the building on Sunday. And then as we wrap up the service, there will be somebody that comes up to the stage and dismisses you live. And have you ever been to a wedding and how you kind of wait so long for the buffet line? Well, that's kind of what we're going to do here. We're going to dismiss by groups. So pay attention to the person that is up front and pay attention to the ushers that will be helping facilitate that, because we're trying to control some flow of traffic here, but also when we are done with the service, we are done, and we need you to exit the building so that we can, especially that 9 o'clock service, so that we can clean everything so that it's ready for 11 o'clock. And 11 o'clock, people, we want you to do the same as well, just to kind of move everybody out of the building. Finally, I just want to ask you something. Could you please extend us a little grace and patience as we go through this process? Because I know it may have been frustrating that we've been out of the church building for so long, but I want you to know that we've wanted to come back to you. And so if you could just extend us some grace and patience throughout this time while we kind of figure out what works and what doesn't, and how do we keep everything clean and things like that. We're gonna be adapting as we go, but please be patient with us.
Hope to see you Sunday. Bye-bye.